Hi everyone, I'm back with another story. I was going through my notes. This is a natural projection from 2017. And I'm going to tell you about how I went to the other side, the astral realm. I met with a person there whose job was to make special videos. And he made a special video for me. And in that astral projection, I also met a couple of other people who had jobs. And I found that very interesting. One of them was a retired angel. And so stay tuned. I'm going to talk about that too. So this astral projection started, I was not very lucid. Almost started like a dream. You just pop into it. You don't know how you got there. And originally I didn't know how I got there, but later you'll see I found out, I remembered. Okay, so when I got there, I was in a school. Again, I'm always in a school, not always, but often in a school on the other side. So I was kind of like in a college or something, and I was there to pay my school fees. I remember the amount I wanted to pay was $154. So yeah, I was paying for something for schooling in the astral realm. And that's where I wasn't very lucid. I don't even know why I wanted to pay that, but that was my mission in that astral projection. Go pay my school fees. So I get there to this school and feels like it's closed, like maybe it's the weekend or it's a school break, because there are very few people in the school and everything seems to be closed. But I'm going to the registry office to pay my fees and no one's there, but it looks like it's going to open up a bit later. So I decide to wait for that to open. And right beside the registry's office is like kind of like a little cafe where you go down with your coffee, you go order a coffee, go sit down on like some tables. And this cafe is not one with like closed walls. It's like a half wall. So there are stools around the half wall, and then inside you have the tables, people sitting down. And so I decide to sit at one of the stools outside of the cafe while I wait a few feet away from the registry's office. And as I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the TV that's on the wall. It's like a flat screen TV on the wall inside the cafe. And it's playing what looks like maybe videos that have been made by students of the school, like short capsules, short montages of video or films or advertisements or stuff like that. So I'm looking at that while I wait. And then up comes a montage of what looks like they're going to be talking with or presenting a student from the school. And just, I guess this is like advertising for the school, who comes to school here. So they show a student, a real life student from that school in the video. And I'm looking at that, and all of a sudden I see me. I see me in the video. The video is taken, it looks like it's live. Like I'm sitting here right now, and it's showing me sitting here right now as if I'm being filmed from like some other angle. I'm just sitting there in that cafe with clothes I know I own, but I don't know if I'm wearing because I haven't checked. But the video, I see myself with like this super bright blue vest I own. And in the video, that's what I'm wearing and sitting where I'm sitting. And I'm looking at myself like, what the hell is this, And I look, and I start to hear the audio track that they've played alongside this video, and it's my voice. And I start to question, where did I say, when did I say this? When's this conversation from? And I remember the words, like maybe I had a conversation with someone, but maybe they were also like something I wrote down in a notebook, or maybe something I thought, like something I never said out loud, and maybe I had just thought inside of me. And they were playing that audio track of some of my thoughts from earlier, maybe that week. And the subject was on astral projection. I was thinking about astral projection and talking inside my head or talking to someone, and somehow someone had gotten a hold of that audio track and placed it alongside a video of me live right now in this cafe waiting for me to pay my school fees. And so I was kind of like, oh my God, what's this? Like, everyone can see this. I was a bit shy about it because it's exposing me and my astral projection practice in a place where there's lots of people. And I observed it and watched it. I guess I got used to seeing myself up there. It didn't matter that I didn't look that crazy. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And then this video ends. I'm like, that was something. That's weird. That's odd. And then I had become lucid during the video, right? And I was observing it attentively. Then I look over and I see that the registry office has opened up and some people have started to line up. So I go there, but then I see there's kind of like a cafeteria with they have people pay for their food, and I see two women working there. So I go there and I'm like, could I pay my fees here? And these women, they kind of look like they're bothered that I'm there. And they don't look at me, they don't care. And so I decide I'm gonna go wait in line at the registry office. And while I'm waiting, it's been a few minutes I'm waiting there, and I see a guy coming towards me. And the guy says, hey, Julie, insert my last name, like he's like, hey, the girl who has astral projections. And I'm like, oh my God, you're not serious. Like, who is this guy? And I'm so embarrassed that he's exposing me again like this. I walk over super fast to him and I make him see, like, like, what are you doing? Stop that. And he looks at me. And what did he say there? He says, so did you like my video? And I'm like, oh my God, you did that? And so I realized that this guy knows me. And plus he's teasing me. It's like he knows me already. He's teasing me and he's mocking me for being an astral projector, as if like, ha ha ha, that's some big joke or whatever. Like no one cares, or everyone knows already, or I don't know. It's not a big deal. And so he tells me that, and I'm like, how did you do that with the audio? And he's like, oh, that's my job. I have tricks. So I don't know what that meant. But then he leans over and he says in my ear, yeah, but how did you get started? And I look at him and I'm like, what kind of question is that? What does that even mean, right? I don't say this out loud, but I'm kind of confused with the question. And I start to answer because I think he wants me to tell him how I got started with astral projection. I start to tell him, but he picks up my hand and he makes me twirl, like a ballerina. He makes me turn like this. And so that confuses me even more. But twirling, the feeling, it is very like intoxicating. He's making me twirl. And I'm like just twirling like a ballerina. And yeah, then he stops and he's like, oh, hold on. I need to go see someone. Just wait for me here. So I wait. I see him leave. He's going to talk to someone, but it looks like he won't be back. So I'm like, oh, whatever. I go over to the counter where those two lunch ladies are. I'm like, excuse me, could I please pay for my school fees? And they continue to talk amongst each other. They look like they're super busy doing nothing, right? Like just not wanting to serve me. And then at some point, I'm like, please, I just want to pay for my school fees. And so one of the ladies like, okay, whatever. Can you give me your ID? No, she says, okay, whatever, we'll make you pay, but what headquarters are you paying your fees for? She says this, what headquarters are you paying your fees for? I'm like, okay, I don't get it. Like, I go to school here. I just want to pay my fees for school here. So it's like, can I have your ID, please? So I give her my ID. She looks at it. She goes into the corner. She scratches something, like, some lottery scratch ticket. She's scratching my ID. She looks at it. She looks at me. And then she comes to me and she's like, okay, you're someone special. I don't know what to make with this. She just says, okay, you're someone special. She read something on my ID that meant like I was different from the people there. And so she made me pay my fees and I left. As I'm leaving the school, I get out from the front lobby. Like, I'm in the front lobby at that point. I get out the school's main doors, and then there's some like lots of stairs going up to like where the buses at the top of the stairs would pick up the students. So I'm going up the stairs. A lot of people, not a lot, a few students are coming through. I guess they're going to pay fees or getting something from school. This doesn't look like a normal school day. And this young woman, maybe young 20s, brown hair, super beautiful woman, comes down the stairs, and she stops me and she says, "Oh, Julie, when I was an angel up there, I remember I saw you." And I look at her and I'm confused again. I'm like, what does this mean? Like, what are these people talking about? And so she says, "When I was an angel up there, I saw you." So I'm so like flabbergasted. I don't know what to answer. So I'm like, okay. That's all I answered, okay. I think I thanked her because that sounded like a nice thing to say, I guess. And so I went on my way. A few moments later, I turned around because I'm like, that wasn't polite. I should have stopped and talked with her. She looks like she knows me or something. Maybe I should have asked questions. So I turn around and I tell her, "See ya." And she turns around and it looks like she's thinking about what choice of words to use. And she's like, "Yeah, see ya." And then she leaves. And I continue to walk up the stairs. When I reached the top of the stairs, I fell. There was a snowbank and I fell. And right after I fell, I woke up in my bed. And so that was the astral projection. I wanted to tell you about this astral projection because a few things are very different from my other astral projections. First of all, I remember very clearly this projection, even though it happened 8 years ago now. And there were so many odd things in it that I still question. Okay, so one of the things is, one of the weird things about this astral projection is earlier that week, I remember I had a dream. A dream of being in that same school, but on the second floor. And I remember having seen someone I know here physically. And in the dream, I tried to hide from that person. I didn't want him to see me. So I was trying to get away with him not seeing me, but he saw me anyways. And I never wrote down the notes from that dream that it was just a dream. So when I had this astral projection, I'm like, oh man, that was the same place I went in the other dream this week. So I wrote down a couple of notes about the dream originally, but that doesn't happen to me very often, to be in the same place twice, whether it's a dream or an astral projection. That's very rare for me. So that was notable. Then the other thing, I wrote down some notes here. I don't want to forget the notes. So yeah, okay. So I said at the beginning that I didn't remember how I got there because it started with me just walking down the stairs, getting down to the lobby to the registry office to pay my fees. But when I was leaving the school and going up those stairs, I remembered having arrived there earlier during that projection. So earlier in that sequence of events, something I had forgotten when I initially got to the lobby. Now I was leaving the school and remembering having arrived by that same place earlier that day. So it was the first time in any of my dreams or projections where I'm in the dream or the projection and remember something I'd forgotten during the dream. So I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but yeah, that was kind of noteworthy. Then remembering those words from the audio track was very interesting. They were probably thoughts of mine from earlier, like the week before. Yeah, I still wonder what it meant when the woman from the cafeteria told me that I was special based on what she read on my ID. I still wonder what was written on that ID. I should have checked. I didn't, and I should have asked why am I special? And then when I was leaving and the lady said, when I was an angel, like she had been an angel but was no longer an angel. So she retired, I guess, or she was kicked out or whatever, I don't know, but she was no longer an angel, but she remembers having seen me in that time when she was an angel there. What does that mean? Was I a special case the angels were looking at? What does that mean? So I still wonder about that. And I hope that when I said see ya, and she said, yeah, I'll see ya, I hope it happens again at some point in my astral projections where I see her again and she gets to explain what she meant, because I don't know. And this, yeah, the last thing is the twirling motion was very intoxicating. I don't know why he made me twirl like that, but it was dizzying, but also it felt really nice. It was a weird feeling that he was making me experience by twirling me like that. And so, yeah, that was the astral projection where I found out that some people have jobs there. Oh yeah, I also wonder, the guy who was there, was he a student learning to make special videos? And are these filmmakers in the astral the ones that prepare life reviews for us when we cross onto the other side? I really wonder about that. If people actually make them out of like your thoughts, things you said, moments, screenshots, feelings, or whatever, they can put all of that together and make a life review with that. So maybe that's someone's work, because this guy sure said that that was his work on the other side and he had special tricks. And based on the fact that his video was on the TV screen in that school, makes me think he was probably a student learning to do that. Who knows? But that astral projection left me with so many questions I had to share. Maybe you guys can figure out the answers for me, because I've been looking for answers for 8 years. I don't know what they mean. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.